Hi guys, welcome to April in the garden. We've got the first flowers that are in bloom, the first of the season. As always, it's the daffodils and the narcissus. So today I wanted to show you how I go about harvesting them, what am I looking for when I'm harvesting them, and how do I get that optimal vase life out of my daffodils and narcissus. So if you want to grow some of your own daffodils, this is something that you're going to have to remember to do in the fall. You'll have to purchase your bulbs in the fall, and that's when you plant them. But now is a really great time to go to, a local botanical garden or a friend's garden that's got some of these. Ask them about the different varieties that you see growing. This right here behind me is Down the Shag. I think I'm saying that right, Down the Shag. I don't know. But there are about 5 or 6 different specialty varieties that we grow here. This just happens to be one of them in this bed here that's in bloom at this time of the year. Now, when you go to harvest your daffodils, you're going to want to harvest them at what's called the gooseneck stage. So let's go in here and take a look at, okay. So here we go. So here's one at the perfect stage. You can see that the daffodil bud is now bent over from the stem. It's no longer straight up. And you can see that the paper wreath sheath is also removed from the bud. So I'm starting to see a little bit of color there in the bud. It's bent over. That's sort of the perfect stage for harvesting your daffodils. You get the longest vase life like this. This is what we call the gooseneck stage. Now, some of the juicier doubles, the really sort of juicy double daffodils, you can harvest them maybe at a stage that's even a little bit more open than this. They tend to need to be a little bit further ahead, and I guess sort of more like a cracked bud stage. Vase life on daffodils is pretty good. You'll get a good 5 to 6 days in the vase. Floral preservative tends to not really extend the life of your daffodils, so no need to add floral food or any sort of preservative if you've got daffodils. They also have an excellent fridge life, and I know a lot of growers who will store these in their cooler or in their fridge dry. I'll be honest with you, I've never done that. I always sort of put them in a bucket of water, but they last in the fridge for quite a bit of time, and once you bring them out of the fridge, that's when they'll sort of explode into bloom and be open. Now, having said that, if you are harvesting your daffodils for yourself, you could harvest them open, just like these here. So there we go, so that's perfect. You could just put this into a vase and enjoy them for yourself. For my industry customers, my florists and event designers, they're gonna want them like this. Actually, there is a little exception to that rule. Occasionally, I will have florists who call me and say, Antonio, I have a wedding this weekend. I need something that's already open, ready to go. It's only a 1-day single event. Fully open would also be okay in that case. Here's the thing with daffodils. They tend to secrete a sap after you've cut them, and that tends to be detrimental to the vase life of the other flowers in a vase if you've got a mixed vase with daffodils and other flowers. So how do you get around this? Well, number one, if you have a vase or an arrangement simply just of daffodils, they'll be fine. How do you incorporate daffodils into a mixed vase or a mixed arrangement? Simply condition them by putting them into a bucket with some cool water and just allow that sap to flow for about 3 to 4 hours. At that point, the end of the stem will begin to callus over, and you'll be fine to then mix your daffodils in with other flowers without worrying about the vase life being shortened of the other flowers that are in that vase. One of my favorite things about daffodils is that the first things to sort of put on a show in the garden, they have a beautiful light fragrance, and best of all, they are deer resistant. So if you've got deer, daffodils are a great option for a spring flower. Now, when you go to do your shopping for your bulbs in the fall, look for those more unusual cultivars. There's of course that classic yellow daffodil, sort of bright yellow school busy daffodil. But if you look around, there are some beautiful, gorgeous cultivars out there now. Last tip, when you go to cut your daffodils, you're gonna wanna cut as deeply as possible. You're gonna wanna cut in between the foliage. Go in there, and I find that the stem tends to be a little bit more solid when you are cutting nice and deep in between the foliage, and further up it tends to be a little bit more hollow. If you cut further down, that larger, more thicker stem tends to have more surface area, and I find that that's better for water absorption. Okay, so as I was filming this, I noticed that one of the other cultivars that I'm growing are blooming, and this variety is sort of new to me, and I'm kind of super excited to take a look at that. It's just opening. This is called Flower Surprise. Oh my lord. It's not easy being pretty, is it? Okay, guys, so that's it from me for harvesting your daffodils and narcissus. Consider planting them this fall, and like I said, take a look for some of those more unusual varieties. We have many of them available on our website. If you are here in Canada, we ship throughout Canada. All right, guys, so if you like this video and you'd like to see some more, feel free to hit that subscribe button, like, and possibly comment down below and let me know what other videos you'd like to see.